Hi, it's Pat Gillis here. And this week I was actually watching, I caught a video from the great Susan Garrett. And she's a world champion dog agility trainer. And she was talking anyway, mostly referencing people who start dog agility, but they just sort of do it to have fun with their dog, right? And she commented on how sometimes, they sort of throw the dog into this without any preparation, and it ends up being kind of a frightening experience for the dog, maybe even like psychologically damaging to the dog, to just sort of throw them into that without any preparation. And it got me thinking that that's probably something that we could probably say pertains to our sport as well. Like sometimes you'll see people, they'll have a horse and maybe they don't do too much with it for months on end. And then all of a sudden one sunny day they decide, let's go on a trail ride. And they go out for the whole day because it'll be fun. And it is fun, but maybe not so much for the horse, right? Because he's been sort of standing around not doing too much. Suddenly now he's got a saddle on for 8 hours that day, and it's kind of a lot. I mean, they call it weekend warriors for a reason, right? Or maybe another example would be, that a young green rider decides to buy a green horse because they think it would be fun to teach the horse, to sort of start a young horse. And it is fun to start a young horse, but it's also, if you don't have a lot of experience and you're unfocused, you're unclear, you can probably do a lot more damage in those initial months, than you would if you were learning on a slightly more experienced horse. Know that anybody that comes to my farm would never think of me as sort of recklessly over the top fun. They might even think I'm a little bit too old school and a bit too serious, but I just want to go on record. I'm not against fun. I just don't want to have fun at the expense of my horse. The more that we learn about horses, the more we can kind of connect with them on a deeper level rather than a sort of superficial level. Like if you watch how horses are portrayed in movies and things like that, you can kind of get a, aerial view of what a horse is. But if you spend enough time with them, you realize that there's a deeper connection that we can make with them than what you see on TV or in movies. Yeah, so if you spend your time with a working horse, like herding cattle or doing whatever, the top priority you have might not be, is my horse happy? But his ability to perform his task is of paramount concern to you. And the way that we achieve that is by preparing the horse for it, educating the horse for it, so that he understands what's expected of him. And that, my friend, is how we get rid of stress. When the horse is asked, when the horse understands what we want, is prepared and educated and fit enough to do what we want. Like when you watch a horse being ridden by a really good rider, and you can tell that they've put a lot of hours of training into what they're doing. The generosity that you see coming from the horse is so astounding to me, and it's just a beautiful thing to watch. And to me, really, like the joy, the fun for me in riding horses is that whole preparation time, that whole period of time where you're training the horse, spending time with the horse, trying to get the horse to understand what it is that you're striving for. And the joy is when you get to that point where the horse strives for the goal the same way you do, and you're both working towards something. That, to me, is where the fun and the joy of riding horses is. So anyway, if you're watching this anywhere besides at our blog, go on over there, leave me a message. It's at ismyhorsehappy.com. Oh, and if you want to check out Susan Garrett's blog, it's really good. Like if you're interested in agility or any kind of dog training at all, I think she's still the reigning world champion. Or if she's not, she's been world champion lots and lots of times, and she's a great trainer too. So if you want to check that out, I will put a link down below this video. And that's it for this week, and I'll see you next time. Remember to thank your horse.